welcome back. Let's see, shall I make this a vlog? I think I will. I'm on the 210 right now, heading back to LA. Just had a very interesting trip to Covina, which is about a half hour away from LA, or from Glendale at least. Which gets into an almost Dickenson style story. If you want to hear that. So 2 nights ago, I was down at Union Station, which is nice. Union Station's pretty nice sometimes if there's not too many cabs, because sometimes, yeah, the place is just got a huge amount of cabs waiting to get in, and that's just too long. So it's better just to go downtown. So anyways, it's late at night. I'm there. I get approached by a young Indian kid. Needs to go to Hollywood. So yeah, gives me the address. Steps in, and immediately, or once we start going, then he brings up the fact that he'll have, or this grandmother up in Hollywood's going to have the money when we get there, which should have set off my alarm bells right there. But because normally when they say that, I usually call people up or have them give me the number. I talk to them and see that they're there and that they're willing to pay the fare, and that's usually worked out okay. So, but I found that if it's late and I'm tired, I usually kind of miss those things, and that kind of bites me in the ass later on. Well, as in this case. So anyways, we get there. The grandmother's not there, of course. And then, oddly enough, he has me take him over to the Scientologists, because their headquarters was nearby. So we go over there. I drop him off. The fare is now $19. Of course, he doesn't have the cash. He runs a card, but that's declined. So at this point, I don't really know what to do. I'm kind of screwed at this point. Like I said, we're there at the Scientology headquarters, the cult headquarters. I just say, look, go over there. There's people milling around. Go over there, borrow $20, right? Try that. So he goes inside. He goes and talks with them, and of course, comes back in-handed. So, as a compromise, he gives me his iPhone. Claims it's $400, I assume. And then I assume, well, I'll never hear from him again. So I leave my phone number, and I figured, well, I've lost $19. Got a nice iPhone that I can pawn off later, maybe. But this morning, he calls me up and requests, hey, can I get my phone back? And yes, I've got the money to pay the fare. And then he tells me he's out in Covina, like I said, which is it's a half-hour trip from Glendale. So I'm thinking, whoa, what the hell? God, this is a trip. He's quite a distance, but like I said, if he's up to do that and kicking in some money, then that's perfectly okay with me. Now, normally when people leave stuff in the cab, if it's in the back seat, they have to pay the trip back. Somebody in a city cab. There you go. He's taking some customers. Just gave me a peace sign. Yeah, so if you forget something in the cab, you got to pay the fare from wherever I am back to where you are. Or in some cases, I've negotiated and said, well, look, I'll just take it to the office and leave it in the lost and found, and you can come by and pick it up, so you don't have to pay the fare. I'm open to that kind of thing. I'm not here to screw anybody just because they were careless or tired, which is sometimes the case, right? So that's happened. You know, I just leave it at the office and they come by and pick it up. There. Pretty simple. If anything, like I said, my experiment all along has been to see, can you make it as an honest cabbie? Interesting, huh? So anyways, since he's open to that, like I said, after I had my coffee in the morning, I head out to Covina, and he's at some hotel, actually motel, and it's one of these really, it's actually one of these slumlord motels where people stay. It's a motel proper, but it's the kind of thing where people rather low means stay because the rent is somewhat cheap. But the place, yeah, was pretty run down. Somebody there was putting his large bags of recycled cans on the back of his bike, you know, that kind of place. So, yeah, he comes out, gives me the $20 for the fare, $10 for the gas to run out there, because I do have a Prius after all. So, all fine and good. And then he gets talking, and we're talking about politics, and we're talking about the British Empire, because he's Indian, so slightly more aware. And then he talks about the fact that essentially he's been abandoned by his parents. Hard to say what exactly age he was, but definitely a young adult. If he's in his teens, I don't know. Oops. But he's a young adult. But he says his parents essentially have abandoned him or exiled him from the family. I don't know. That's how it is in these patriarchal families. Because he was earlier asking about a job in, you know, getting a taxi job, and I said, well, you got a clean driving license or clean driving record? And he said he didn't have that because he'd gotten involved in a few incidents, so he lost his driver's license. So right there, he's pretty screwed. If he wants a taxi job, you can't have that. You gotta have your driver's license and a clean driving record, because you have to get your record from the DMV and they'll see if you want to be sponsored by one of the companies. Yeah, so that's his situation. He's down and out in Covina, in this Fleabag Motel, run by one of these typical Indian businessmen who was there to see that he got the key and his stuff was out. So, alright. So yesterday was my airport day. Somewhat decent. Had a number of those $19 trips, because the rule is if you pick up at the airport, minimum the fare has to be $19. $15 for the fee for the airport, and $4, which is what they charge us when we go to the holding pond. So I had a number of those, and then a couple, one up to Hollywood, and then 3 up to downtown Los Angeles. Go figure. Okay, so this is Drew, your Tinsel Town taxi, wishing you the best of days. And I see you later, and take care, and rate, subscribe, comment, right? So thank you very much for coming along and listening to my tales. just like that old saying, there's a 99,000 stories in the naked city. You just heard one of them. Okay.